We have studied permutation combination. In that we have studied sum of first n natural numbers is n into n plus 1 upon 2. This is represented in this way. For every n belonging to n, 1 plus 2 plus 3 dot dot plus n is equal to n into n plus 1 upon 2. Or you have seen this result. There exists some x belonging to R such that x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Here for every and there exist, these are known as quantifier. These are known as quantifier. No need to remember definition, just you have to remember concept only. Quantifier means the group of words or a phrase which converts an open sentence into a statement is known as quantifier. And here for every and there exist are two quantifiers. Quantified statement, the open sentence which is converted into a statement is known as quantified statement. The sentence with the quantifier is known as quantified statement. In above example, we have used for every and there exist these two quantifiers. So these are the quantified statements. There are two types of quantifier. First one is universal quantifier. In first example, we have used for every, it is known as universal quantifier. It is denoted by upward A. If you observe, it is upward A. And second type is existential quantifier. In second statement, we have used quantifier there exist. It is known as existential quantifier. And it is denoted by backward E, capital E. These are the notations. Now we will see some examples. Here set A is given 3, 4, 6, 8. These are the elements of A and we have to determine the truth value of following quantified statements. First example, there exists x belonging to A such that x plus 4 is equal to 7. To determine the truth value, we have to solve this equation and we have to find value of x. If value of x belongs to A, then the statement is true. Here we get x is equal to 3 which belongs to A. Therefore, given statement is a true statement and hence its truth value is T, capital T. When we use existential quantifier, we must have at least one value satisfying the equation. Next statement is for every x belonging to A, x plus 4 is less than 10. Here quantified used is for every. That means every x belonging to A must satisfy this inequality. That means x must be less than 6. But x is equal to 6 and 8 does not satisfy this inequality. X is equal to 6 and 8 does not satisfy given inequality. And hence the given statement is a false statement. Remember that when for every quantifier is used, then every value of the set must satisfy given equation or inequality. Then it is a true, otherwise it is a false statement. Again I will write just A is set 3, 4, 6, 8. Now third example, there exists x belonging to A such that is a connective between these two. X belonging to A and open sentence x is odd. Where there exists quantifier is used, that means we must have at least one x belonging to A satisfying the condition. Here x is equal to 3 is the element satisfying this condition, and hence it is a true statement and its truth value is T, capital T. Now next example, for every x belonging to A, x plus 5 is greater than equal to 13. X plus 5 is greater than equal to 13. Solve this inequality. We get x is greater than equal to 8. Every element of set A must satisfy this inequality. But x is equal to 3, 4, 6 does not satisfy this inequality. X is equal to 3, 4, 6 does not satisfy given condition, and hence it is a false statement, and therefore its truth value is F, capital F. Now next type of examples, here we have to use quantifiers to convert each of the following open sentence into a true statement. Using quantifiers, we have to convert open sentence into a true statement defined on the set N, the set of natural numbers. First example, x square is equal to 25. Is it true for every natural number? No. It is true for only one natural number. Therefore, we have to use existential quantifier. There exists x belonging to N such that x square is equal to 25. Such that is connective. Remember this. Second example, x square plus 1 is greater than equal to 2. Least natural number is 1 and this inequality is satisfied by 1. We know when x is equal to 1, x square is equal to 1. That means 1 plus 1 is greater than equal to 2. As this inequality is satisfied by 1, it is satisfied by every natural number. So we have to use universal quantifier. For every x belonging to N, x square plus 1 is greater than equal to 2. Now next one, x minus 3 is equal to 13. Is it true for every natural number? No. When we solve this equation, we get x is equal to 14. It is a natural number, only one natural number. So we have to use existential quantifier. There exists x belonging to N such that x minus 3 is equal to 11. Next point is dual. Two statement patterns are said to be dual of each other if one can be obtained from the other by replacing and by or and or by and. Again, no need to remember this definition, just you have to remember dual means we have to replace and by or by and. Dual, to obtain dual, replace and by or by and. All other symbols remains as it is. For example, negation, implication, double implication, this will remains as it is. We will replace only and by or by and. We will understand more by examples. Let us see some examples. Negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation of P or negation of Q. Dual of this statement is negation of P or Q is equivalent to negation of P and negation of Q. These two statements are known as dual of each other. Only way to replace and by or by and. And one more thing we have to remember, we have to replace T by F and F by T. To understand more, we will see some examples to find dual. Before finding dual, we have to just remember that we have to replace T by F and F by T and OR by and by OR. This much we have to do. First example, P and Q or R. Now we have to find dual of this statement. We have to replace AND by OR. So P or Q. Now replace OR by AND and R. So dual is P or Q and R. Second example, T or P or Q. Dual is, we have to replace T by F and OR by AND. OR by AND. F and P and Q is the dual of the statement. Move to third example. Find dual of P or Q and R is equivalent to P or Q and P or R. We have to replace OR by and by OR, and equivalent sign remain as it is. So dual is P and Q or R is equivalent to P and Q or P and R. Each example carry 1 mark. Okay guys, can you hear me properly? We have done most of the part and we have done it smartly because you are a smart student and using smart way of learning. Before moving to next point, I want to tell you that learn with enjoyment. When you learn with enjoyment, you understand more, and when you understand more, enjoy more. So keep learning, keep enjoying. Next point is negation of negation P is equivalent to P. This we can verify with the truth table. See this truth table. From this truth table, we get negation of P is equivalent to P. We will see one example of this. First example, here statement P is root 2 is a rational number and its negation is root 2 is not a rational number. Now negation of negation is, it is not true that root 2 is not a rational number, which means root 2 is a rational number. From this we can say these two statements are equivalent. So negation of negation P is equivalent to P. Now next point, negation of conjunction. Conjunction means P and Q. Negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation of P or negation of Q. This is known as De Morgan's law, which we have studied in set theory also in 11th standard. We will verify this with the truth table. See this truth table. In this truth table, there are 7 columns and 4 rows. For P, we will take 2T and 2F. For Q, we will take alternately true false, 1T, 1F. Negation of P. When statement is true, its negation is false, and when statement is false, its negation is true. In same way, negation of Q. Now conjunction of P and Q. Conjunction is true when both the statements are true, otherwise it is false. So first entry is true and all other 3 entries are false. Now take negation of this statement. Negation, when statement is true, its negation is false, and when statement is false, its negation is true. Now we have to take disjunction of these two statements. Disjunction is false when both the statements are false, otherwise it is true. See these two columns, they are identical. Therefore, we have negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation of P or negation of Q. To To understand more, we will see some examples of negation of conjunction. First example, the sky is blue and milk is white. Sky is blue and milk is white. Here statement P is the sky is blue, right? P, the sky is blue. And second statement is Q, milk is white. Milk is white. Symbolic form of this statement is P and Q. We have to write symbolic form P and Q. Negation of P and Q is equivalent to, just we have seen, negation of P or negation of Q. Your negation of P is the sky is not blue. We have to apply not. In same way, negation of Q, milk is not white. Now, negation of P or negation of Q is the sky is not blue or milk is not white. Is the negation of given statement. Is the negation of given statement. Remember that negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation of P or negation of Q. Next point, negation of disjunction. We have to see negation of all compound statements. First of all, we will see negation of disjunction. Negation of P or Q is equivalent to negation of P and negation of Q. This also known as De Morgan's law. We have studied it in 11th standard in set theory. You can verify this with the truth table. I will let it to you. Verify this with truth table. When you verify by yourself, you will understand more, and when you understand more, you will remember it well. Okay, now we will see example on it. First example, the sky is cloudy, or the sky is cloudy, or second statement is it will be raining. Here logical connective used is or. First of all, we will write separate statements. First statement is the sky is cloudy, and second statement is it will be raining. It will be raining. Now symbolic form of this statement is, your logical connective used is or. So symbolic form P or Q. And we know negation of P or Q is equivalent to negation of P and negation of Q. First of all, we have to write separate negation of statements. Negation of P is the sky is not cloudy, and negation of Q is it will not be raining. Therefore, negation of P or Q is negation of P and negation of Q is the sky is not cloudy and it will not be raining, is the negation of given statement. Good. We have completed one more. Now we will see next negation of implication. Next compound statement is implication. Now we have to see how to do negation of implication. Negation of implication, that is P implies Q, is equivalent to P and negation of Q. That is conjunction of first statement and negation of second statement. This is the negation of implication. You can also verify this with truth table. Make a truth table, combine truth table for it and verify it. We will see example. If R is a rational number, then R is a real number. Logical corrective used is if then. If R is a rational number is the first statement. R is a rational number is the first statement. We will denote it by P. And second statement is R is a real number is the second statement. We will denote it by Q. R is real number. Here symbolic form. First of all, write symbolic form of the statement is P implies Q. And as we know, negation of implication is equivalent to conjunction of first statement and negation of second statement. Negation of P implies Q is equivalent to P and negation of Q. We require negation of Q. We will do it. Here Q is R is a real number. So its negation is R is not a real number. Now write P and negation of Q. P and negation of Q is R is a rational number. Logical corrective used is and R is not a real number. R is not a real number. This is the negation of given statement. Okay, we have completed one more. Move to next one. Negation of biconditional statement. We have seen conditional statement. Now we have to see negation of biconditional statement. Biconditional statement is represented by P double implies Q. P double implies Q is actually a conjunction of P implies Q and Q implies P. We will derive negation of this biconditional statement. See, negation of P double implies Q is negation of RHS, which is equivalent to negation of P implies Q and Q implies P. Now we have to apply De Morgan's law for conjunction. Negation of conjunction is negation of first statement or negation of second statement. Applying this, we get negation of P implies Q or negation of Q implies P. Just now we have seen negation of P implies Q is equivalent to P and negation of Q or remains as it is. Apply the same rule for second implication. It is first statement and negation of second statement is the negation of biconditional statement. This is the negation of given biconditional statement. You can verify this again with truth table. Try for yourself. We will see examples to understand more. First one, P double implies Q is the sky is cloudy if and only if it will be raining. Here first statement is the sky is cloudy and second statement is it will be raining. Therefore, negation of P double implies Q is equivalent to P and negation of Q or Q and negation of P. We will write directly statement. First statement, the sky is cloudy. Logical corrective way to use is and negation of second statement, it will not be raining. Then to use logical connective or. Now second bracket, it will be raining. Second statement as it is. Now logical connective we have to use is and. Now negation of first statement, the sky is not cloudy. So negation is the sky is cloudy and it will not be raining, or it will be raining and the sky is not cloudy. Next we have to see negation of quantifier. In the starting of this lecture we have seen what is meant by a quantifier. Quantifier is a group of words or phrase which convert an open sentence into a statement, and the statement is known as quantified statements. Which are the quantifiers? For every and there exist are two quantifiers. These are universal quantifier and next is existential quantifier. To obtain negation of quantified statement, we have to just replace all by some and for every by there exist. Remember this. To obtain negation of quantified statement, we have to replace all by some and for every by there exist. To understand this negation of quantified statement, we have to see some examples. First example, let us see the first example. For every n belonging to n, the set of natural numbers, n plus 1 is greater than 2. Here quantifier used is for every. It is replaced by there exist. There exist some n belonging to n, the set of natural numbers, such that. Now we have to write negation of this statement. Negation of this statement is n plus 1 is less than equal to 2. So negation of given quantified statement is there exists n belonging to n such that n plus 1 is less than equal to 2. Second statement, there exists x belonging to r such that x square is less than x. Here quantified used is there exist. So it is replaced by for every. For every x belonging to r, x belonging to r. Now write negation of x square less than x. It is x square is greater than equal to x. Good. We have completed negation of compound statement. But don't go anywhere. Now I will tell you the secret tip with which you can remember all these things easily. We will relate mathematical logic to the set theory. Set theory you have studied in 10th, 11th standard. In set theory we have studied complement of a set, intersections and union. We will relate it to logical connectives. See, complement of a set is associated with negation of a statement. In same way, intersection of sets is equivalent to conjunction of statements. Similarly, union of sets is equivalent to disjunction of statements. With these relations, we will derive formula for negation. In set theory, we have studied A intersection B complement. A intersection B complement is equal to A complement union B complement. Now replaces complement, intersection and unions by negation, conjunction and disjunction. See, negation of P and Q is equivalent to negation of P or negation of Q. complement is equivalent to A complement intersection B complement. Again replace complement, intersection and union by negation, conjunction and disjunction. So we get negation of P or Q is equivalent to negation of P and negation of Q. Now we have to derive formula for negation of P implies Q. But P implies Q is equivalent to A complement union B. That means P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. Negation of P or Q. Now we have to derive the formula for negation of P implies Q. Negation of P implies Q. Apply negation of on LHS and RHS. Negation of RHS. RHS is negation of P or Q. Now we have to apply the rule for negation of disjunction. So we get negation of first statement and negation of second statement. That means negation of P and negation of Q. But negation of P is equivalent to P itself. So it becomes P and negation of Q is the formula for negation of P implies Q. Derive the formula for negation of P double implies Q and write me in comment box. Now we will see algebra of statements. Just now we have related the set theory to mathematical logic. In set theory we have studied intersection, complement and union. We will relate negation to complement of a set, conjunction to intersection of sets and disjunction to union of sets. See, first law is idempotent law. This law says that P conjunction P, that is P and P, is equivalent to P. In set theory we know A intersection A is equivalent to A. In same way A union A is equivalent to also A. When we replace intersection by conjunction we get the same law. P and P is equivalent to P, and when we replace union by disjunction we get P or P is equivalent to P. You can verify this with truth table. Next law is commutative law. Commutative law says that P and Q is equivalent to Q and P, and P or Q is equivalent to Q or P. In set theory A intersection B is equivalent to B intersection A. That means order of sets is not important. We can take the sets in any order. The intersection remains same. Even for union, A union B is equivalent to B union A. Now replace this intersection by conjunction and union by disjunction. We get P and Q is equivalent to Q and P, and P or Q is equivalent to Q or P. Have you understood these two laws? Good. Now we will see next one. Next laws are associative law and distributive law. First of all we will see associative law. In set theory, associative law says that A intersection B intersection C is equivalent to A intersection B intersection C. To obtain associative law in logic, we have to replace intersection by conjunction or AND. That means P and Q and R is equivalent to P and Q and R. It is also equivalent to A intersection B intersection C. In same way, in logic, it is equivalent to P and Q and R. You can verify this with truth table. Make a combined truth table for it and see all its truth values are identical. Or you can consider this as multiplication. We know associative law is true for multiplication also. A into B into C is equivalent to A into B into C, which is also equal to A into B into C. Use anyone, either using set theory or using this multiplication. Next one is distributive law. Distributive law says that in set theory, A intersection B union C is equivalent to A intersection B union A intersection C. Another form of distributive law, P or Q and R is equivalent to P or Q and P or R. In the associative law of set theory, when we replace an intersection by conjunction and union by disjunction, we get P and Q or R is equivalent to P and Q or P and R. In the same law, if we interchange conjunction and disjunction, we get this form. Now, De Morgan's law. De Morgan's law we have studied in negation of conjunction and disjunction. Next is identity law. For identity law, we will take T as universal set and F as null set. T equivalent to universal set and F equivalent to null set. In set theory, we know A intersection universal set is equivalent to A itself. A intersection universal set is denoted by U, is equivalent to A. Now replace intersection by conjunction and U by T, we get the identity law. P and T is equivalent to P. In same way, A intersection phi is equivalent to phi. Now replace intersection by conjunction and phi by F. We get T conjunction F is equivalent to F. Phi is equivalent to A. In logic, P or F is equivalent to P. In same way, A union universal set is equivalent to universal set. And in logic, P or T, P disjunction T is equivalent to T. With set theory, you can easily remember all these laws. Now we will see complement law. In set A intersection, A complement is equivalent to phi. This you have studied. Conversion of this in logic is P and negation of P is equivalent to F. In same way, union of set with its complement is universal set. In logic, P or negation of P is equivalent to P. Now, absorption law. This law also we have studied in set theory. In set theory, it says that A intersection A union B is equivalent to A. In logic, it says P and P or Q is equivalent to P. In same way, another form of absorption law, A union A intersection B is equivalent to again A. And in logic, it says P or P and Q is equivalent to P. Have you understood it? Okay, we have completed most of the part and now last one. Last is the best. Last is conditional law. Conditional law says that P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. This we have studied in negation of implication. When we have done negation of P implies Q, we have seen P implies Q is equivalent to A complement union B, which is logically negation of P or Q. Now, biconditional law says that P double implies Q is equivalent to conjunction of P implies Q and Q implies P. But P implies Q is itself equivalent to P implies Q and Q implies P. That is conjunction of two implications. But this implication P implies Q is equivalent to negation of P or Q. Therefore, it becomes negation of P or Q, and now second bracket will be negation of first statement, that is Q, negation of Q or P, second statement as it is. This is the biconditional law. All laws are completed. Remember it well. In this lecture, we have seen quantifiers, quantified statements, negation of compound statement and negation of quantified statements. Also, we have seen algebra of statements. In next video, we will see exercise 1.3. I will cover all the topics of part 1 and part 2. So, subscribe my channel Genius NEET Solutions so that you will get notification of new videos. Thank you.